military drills showing fighter jets, warships and mobile missile launchers in coordinated exercises. Now, this channel separates Taiwan from the Philippines. China claims Taiwan a democracy as its own territory. The video was released by the Eastern Theater Command of People's Liberation Army, and it includes a small map of Taiwan.
A $3.4 trillion tripwire just snapped. At 8:22 a.m., USS Princeton catches low, fast contact streaking through the seconds later. The Shandong's J-15s lift off, and radios go dead. You're here for the real fight. Not missiles first, but electrons. Growlers spool up. Sensors dim. Markets twitch as headlines stack from Reuters to IMF notes. If a carrier screen blinks now, trade arteries seize. Did the Navy's first move, pure electronic warfare, stabilize the corridor, or set off a chain of ghost signals and decoys that could freeze the world's busiest routes? Stay and see how deterrence shifts from steel to signal. A narrow strait moves more money than some countries do in a year. One radar blip there made markets twitch within minutes. Why? The Bashi Channel is the gate between the South China Sea and the Philippine Sea. Taiwan to the north, Luzon to the south, deep water under a tight corridor. Tankers, box ships, and undersea data cables thread it each day. Route planners know its lines by heart.
Chinese naval maneuvers demonstrated their operational readiness and escalated tensions in the Taiwan Strait, expressed that China has no right to represent Taiwan, drawing sharp criticism from Beijing. Chinese Navy released a video showing their military capabilities and increased naval activity near Taiwan.
Because the map leaves few options that do not waste days and cash. At 8:22 a.m., USS Princeton flags low, fast returns hugging the seam. At the same moment, headlines pile up. Trade desks go on edge. This corridor feeds Asia's factory floors and U.S. shelves. It is not a side road. It is the artery. You feel it when it constricts, because prices move and shelves thin. Look at the lanes.
Military drills showing fighter jets, warships and mobile missile launchers in coordinated exercises. Now, this channel separates Taiwan from the Philippines. China claims Taiwan a democracy as its own territory. The video was released by the Eastern Theater Command of People's Liberation Army, and it includes a small map of Taiwan.
Westbound fuel and petrochemicals climb out of Malacca and swing north. Eastbound containers roll past Taiwan and drop south into the Pacific. The channel narrows traffic into a predictable band, which makes it efficient but exposed. Detours exist, but every loop adds days, burns fuel, and triggers insurance calls. A captain can steer around weather. He cannot steer around risk premiums without a cost.
U.S. airborne early warning aircraft E-2C Hawkeye was spotted flying over the Bashi Channel south of Taiwan.
Taiwanese defense minister reported that a Chinese Navy group led by aircraft carrier Liaoning had entered waters near the Bashi Channel.
Monday morning, it heralded the arrival of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, a massive aircraft carrier traveling with a group of armed cruisers and destroyers.
Carriers enter here as air umbrellas, not just warhammers. Their escorts, cruisers, destroyers, submarines, form a shell that reassures the market. Insurers read that shell as a promise. If someone threatens a lane, jets lift and missiles wake. That promise keeps freight planners from rewriting schedules at midnight. It keeps underwriters from adding a zero to the policy. But then the probe comes. Shandong's J-15s run in fast and low, using the curve of the earth and coastal clutter to hide in the noise. Radios go quiet. Sensors shift to passive.
The warship's presence in waters south of Taiwan is seen as a strong message to China.
We take care of them as best as we can. It's an interesting job. Been doing it for about 5 years now. I wouldn't really ask for anything else.
The last time an American aircraft carrier passed the Taiwan Strait was when the USS Kitty Hawk deployed in 2008.
Ships that rely on a clean picture now stare at a snowstorm of partial returns and gaps. You can jam a radar. You can also jam confidence. Markets hate silence. Wire services flag the blackout. Notes roll from desks that track risk in tight zones. The tone is always the same. Ambiguity inflates premiums. When radios die and radar fades, Investors price in ladders of escalation because silence at sea tends to break loud. That is the tactical economic bridge. A degraded radar return is not just a tech problem, it is a money problem. A few minutes of fuzz can widen maritime insurance spreads by morning.
On Monday last week, Chinese PLA planes crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait.
On board the ship, we just take care of the crew's medical needs, any of their complaints, their readiness, making sure all shots are up to date, paperwork's good to go.
One day after their warplanes had carried out a long-distance training mission near Taiwan.
A rumor about a dark carrier screen can reroute fuel flows by afternoon. Refiners and shippers do not wait for clarifying shots. They move to protect margin. In tight waters, that shift compounds. Outbound tankers slow to let a screen rebuild. Inbound stacks pause at safer waypoints. The queue grows. Ports feel it in 2 days. Factories feel it next. You can sense the ripple in small things. Delivery windows slip. Freight rates tick up. Crew changes push out. Long before a single hull takes damage. This is why a carrier group's posture matters more than its press note.
In response to these actions, the US has ramped up its military activity in the area surrounding Taiwan.
Yes, yeah, most definitely. So I'm actually looking forward to the Hispanic Heritage Festival going on later this week, and honestly just getting out, seeing the city.
A visible CAP overhead reads as calm. An escort in the right slot holds the lane. A steady emissions plan tells both friend and foe that the picture is clear. When that picture blinks at Bashi, the sea gets repriced. Not because a missile flew, but because uncertainty did. Now the math gets tight. A ship owner with a narrow margin will take the long way if the war risk clause spikes.
But first things first, I'm on the USS Princeton right now. Right behind me, this is an MH-60, very similar to the UH-60 that in the Army, we say MOS for your job. In the Navy, we say rate. What do you do in the military?
In the Navy, I'm a hospital corpsman.
A charterer will split cargoes across routes to avoid a single failure point. An energy trader will pay more to lock a scarce hull just to dodge the corridor. None of those choices wait for a formal alert. They trigger on the hint.
Now that the stakes in the first radar hits are clear, watch the opening card. The Navy does not lead with steel. It leads with signal. Deterrence lives in the spectrum. When the corridor shakes, the side that shapes radar, comms, and data links keeps lanes open and prices steady. That's how the Bashi scare cooled without a wider break, EW assets one time, and time steadied markets. What would you do with that time? Comment your choice below. If you're the commander, do you push more jamming, launch decoys, or hold fire to keep markets calm? And subscribe if you want the tactical mindset that wins these fights. Steel matters, but signal buys time. Time keeps trade moving. And when time moves, factories breathe, ships sail, and the corridor stays priced to run.